I think the question becomes, do you want a base hit or you want a home run? The issues that are being talked about by my brethren in the other body would basically be a base hit. It's the tax policy questions that really matter for the long-term economy. If we run one bill, we get it all done, that's a home run. But I'm practical enough to know whatever the leadership decides, I'll be a part of, because I want to make sure we don't let a massive tax increase take place immediately.
Well, Congressman, I guess the question is whether this is really up to leadership or if this is more about what it's going to take to appease the Freedom Caucus.
Well, we have a 2-seat majority in the United States House of Representatives in the Republican conference. Soon we'll have a 1-seat majority. That's about as thinly as you can slice it. It makes the Senate's 3-seat majority look like a huge majority. And we have factions within our conference who have various agenda items. But the bottom line is this: if we don't extend the Trump tax relief from 2017, if we don't do the border issues, if we don't address the whole package, we're going to pay a price for it on down the road. I know the Senate's a different place. I respect them greatly. But I know in the House, we need to do it. We need to do it one time and be done with it because of the environment we're in over here.
We've got a funding deadline 6 weeks away, Congressman. Are we going to be in a world a month from now where we're talking about another continuing resolution to kick the can so all the rest of this can be written?
I hope not. I wanted to finish funding out the government last December and not go through this gyration again. But funding the government is much like passing the budget resolution, much like dealing with budget reconciliation. We have a force that is available to us that we haven't had in a long time. It's called President Donald Trump. And when he engages on any or all 3 of these issues, I have to believe that my naysayer friends, and there's 1 or 2 of them in the conference, will see the light and we'll move forward together. Because if we fail, it makes it more difficult for the president. And the president doesn't accept failure. We all know that.
Well, I do wonder to what extent this is really just about President Trump and about you and your colleagues in Congress and the executive and legislative branches working together. If this ultimately is about budgeting and spending in the U.S. government, what role is Elon Musk playing in these conversations, considering how quickly he has been trying to move at DOGE?
I think all the factors are moving together, and DOGE is a classic example of trying in the spirit of Trump 47 to make a dramatic difference. Anyone involved in business knows that ever so often or ever so many years, no matter the size of the corporation or the private enterprise, you bring in the efficiency experts. You look at everything, you sort out all the cobwebs, you make adjustments to keep the enterprise moving forward. I see that as what DOGE is all about. Now, there have been lots of discussion about what DOGE has access to. And I was in a conversation with a number of other members with the Secretary of the Treasury on Monday evening, and it was made quite clear to us that the DOGE people have the ability to view lots of things. They don't control those things.
So as long as it's a read-only status, you're comfortable with Elon Musk not having been confirmed by the Senate, not being an actual government employee, having access to that information, even if it does not involve stopping payments?
I'll just say that Elon has the confidence of the president. The president clearly on Election Day had the confidence of America, and I believe that my Republican colleagues in the House and the Senate need to be very respectful of that situation. Will we agree with everything he does? Will everything he proposes, I should say, actually become law? No. This is the legislative process. But he's going to lay out before us, I believe, a set of issues and circumstances that need to be addressed. Again, just like any good consultant brought in a business enterprise to make sure it's running efficient.
Well, and as you say, Elon Musk has the confidence of the president. Should he also have the confidence of the people in Oklahoma's 3rd District who may be wondering about Elon Musk and those close to him seeing their personal, sensitive financial data and information?
Well, the people in the 3rd District of Oklahoma overwhelmingly, not unanimously, because that's not the way this country works, the people in Oklahoma have tremendous confidence in President Trump. And again, we'll see how this process evolves. As long as it's viewing, as long as it's making recommendations, as long as it's not turning the switches on and off, how can you argue with trying to make things work better? Now, along that lines, I'm a part of a task force dealing with the Federal Reserve System and Treasury's liquidity issues to try and make sure those issues work more efficiently.
If it involves closing a federal agency, however, and that could be USAID or the Department of Education, we're told, is the next target, Congressman. Does the House of Representatives, does the legislature need to have the final say on that?
I'd say ultimately we will have the final say on whatever happens, because all of the actions so far have been challenged very aggressively in court, all the executive orders. That's regular process, that's regular order. We'll work our way through that. Ultimately, good recommendations, even if the courts stop the executive orders, we'll still have the ability to legislatively address that. Now, we have a simple majority, 1 seat in a few days, maybe back to 3 seats or 4 seats by the summer. The Senate still has that 60-vote cloture rule to deal with. Again, that's why we need a budget resolution and reconciliation, and not just 1, but maybe 3 reconciliation bills in this calendar year to move legislation. This is not a checker game we're a part of. This is a chess game, and we have to be prepared to move the pieces carefully to accomplish what needs to be done.